Just looking at the film, and evaluating it from all phases, it was just a sobering deal of, we got out-coached, we got outplayed down there, and weren't able to come up with some opportunities offensively to extend some drives, and we couldn't get off the field, and I think, the block punt really just kind of added a little bit extra to that frustration of just a lack of ability to play our brand of football that we wanted to get to. So, we're just attacked it like we always do, looking at the film, talking through everything, and then just getting our mindset and focused on playing this week against Atlanta.
Thank you, Coach. We'll start with Mike Kay, followed by Joe Person.
Hey, Dave, after reviewing the tape and everything, are you planning on making any changes to the defense this last week?
Just focusing on the Falcons, trying to shore up, attack their run game. We know that they're going to do that. They're going to try to run the ball. So, we'll take that first and foremost. And then, offensively, just try to get right back on track with play a little bit more balanced football. And that starts with third down. So a lot of emphasis and attention there.
Just to follow up, in your film review with Evero, what was the conversation like on what went wrong in this game?
Just looking for guys to play good football, fit their gaps, team tackling. We missed some opportunities there, and just find different ways that we can, attack the offense and try to shore that part up.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, are you going to start Bryce this week?
Absolutely. Our mentality as a team is to finish strong. We have one more opportunity to get back to our football, to play balanced football, complementary football, and the pursuit of that continues this week against the Falcons.
And your other starters as well then?
Yep. The focus is for all of us, the guys that are available, we're playing. This game, these opportunities are so important, as we learn about who we are as a team, as we're continuing to progress and develop our systems and our concepts. So we're just taking this as another opportunity to finish.
And will Chuba need any sort of surgery for that calf strain?
He will not.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to Nick Carboni, followed by Alex Zetlow.
Hey, Dave, as you've watched Bryce over the last month or so, what kind of habits has he developed against pressure? Saw a lot of it yesterday. And what were you hammering on and what was he harping on during that time that he wasn't playing to help him with that?
Yeah, we just focus on each game plan and take the tools and the different adjustments and try to apply them to what we're doing in the game. And so that's just a weekly progress, a weekly connection between the offensive line, the quarterback, the running back. So I'll be on the same page with the protection, and then just try to attack the voids that the defense gives us.
Hey Dave, staying on Bryce, he was also throwing the ball downfield a lot against the Bucs. What was that a product of?
Yeah, it was, looking at the course of the game, looking at some of the opportunities that we had, of course, starting off in that first drive, having some success down the field. And then, I was calling a little bit more of aggressive style of plays for Bryce. And I think Bryce could feel that. And so he was looking for those opportunities. And, there were a few shots down there, some near misses that I wish we could have back. And we just got to find a way to make those plays. But I love the aggressive takes, and those shots of it. And then the flip side of it is you're going to live with some, second and long, some third downs that get you in a little bit longer distance when you don't hit those. But, I was just looking at those opportunities to try to attack those guys with some of the matchups we had.
And then just generally speaking, the defense is what it is. Chuba's obvious. Their top two running backs starting the year are done for the season. Is the rest of the season, I think I know how you're going to respond to this, but is the rest of the season or is this final game about seeing Bryce Young play well and finish the season well?
It's about the Panthers. It's about finishing. It's about finding our style of play. And that's the challenge that we have right in front of us is can we refocus one more time? Can we have another great Wednesday? Can we have another great Thursday and Friday and stack it all together because that's what we do, to have that kind of mentality where we're going to finish what we started. And that's the hope for this week.
All right, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll go to David Newton, followed by Daryl Horowitz.
Hi, Coach. I think that Bryce was under pressure 63% of the time on his dropbacks yesterday. How did you feel like he handled that, and what does that show you in his progression?
Yeah, he was a stud about it, and he just kept battling. They did a great job, whether they were blitzing us or just rushing, four with their stunts and some of those things. They, I felt like, again, kind of the style of the game and the score of it, when we give teams more opportunities, they will start to game you up different. They will start to attack you in different ways. And so, we kind of brought that on ourselves based on just the mode of the game. Bryce just stood in there, and he kept operating, which is I was proud of, again, to be able to just keep hunting and trying to find opportunities down the field.
And I also wanted to ask you, I know you're getting some questions about the defense. Are you convinced that long-term the 3-4 is the way to go in this league with the way you need specialized players to build a solid defense?
That's our scheme. I love this scheme. I know what it looks like when it's done well, and that's my hope, is to continue to just build on that and get, continue to just improve on the concepts. Look at the things that we did. We have one more week this week to get more film and opportunities to evaluate the things that we're doing, and just keep taking those steps in direction. We're asking our players, for fundamental execution, and so this scheme, calls for that, and that's offensively and defensively and special teams, the whole thing, so we're all in that, same evaluation process.
What do you think's missing with the scheme then for this year that you're going to have to fix for next year?
We'll get to that after the season. Right now, we got to focus on the Falcons and the guys that are here that are going to bust their butt this week. And to honor that, they call for all of our attention and focus to be on playing the Falcons, who's a really good team, and they have a lot of talent, a lot of skill. They're doing some cool things schematically on defensively as well. So that's going to require all of our attention right now.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, the gentleman in front of me just kind of addressed my question somewhat with Bryce Young, but when it's a situation like you're so far behind and the other team is attacking so much, what do you look at, or what do you try to do to be able to open things up for him and keep him from getting crushed all the time out there?
Yeah, just different concepts, looking for the voids in the schemes that the defense is throwing at you and trying to attack those, and so, just our nature is to compete. Our nature is to continue to try to find ways to find that drive, to find success, and so that was the mentality there.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go Scott Fowler and then Joe and Cassidy.
Hey, Dave, I want to ask about two specific plays. I'll do them one at a time from yesterday. First of all, the punt breakdown, what happened there?
It was a good matchup. Joe Tryon, Shoyinka, a nice rush. They had been covering. They had been, protecting on their punts. They had a good matchup. Radigan on that side. We kind of had a 3-on-3 combo right there, and a 6'7" guy got on an edge. And made a great play. Took the ball off of Johnny's foot right there. So, that's something again that we're looking at to see what we can do to shore up that part of the protection.
And thank you. And you mentioned, a couple of those deep balls did look like they were fairly close, and I can't remember when the play was, but there was one in particular I thought Xavier had a shot at. Is that one you're referring to? And can you sort of describe, if it's not that one, which ball you thought maybe y'all could have come up with?
I thought there was a couple of them. Anytime in this league you have one-on-one opportunities, whether it's the throw or the finish on the ball, I think that those are great opportunities for explosive plays. We missed Thielen up the sideline, on kind of a designed wheel route, just nearly missed him. We had a couple opportunities to Xavier down the field. Both were after the original design and timing, so this is Bryce extending the play to give him an opportunity based on what was happening with the protection back there. And so I thought it was a really good job of extending the play, and I'd love to see us come up with those. But those were off-schedule plays where Xavier's trying to find a lane to escape. Bryce is trying to find the right angle to hit him, so I thought a couple of those opportunities could have, shifted the part of our drives there in the middle of the game.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, could you update us on Josie Jewell, J.C. Horn, and Miles Sanders, please?
We'll give you guys a bunch of that, more of that information as we go into Wednesday. All those guys are progressing. It's day to day, with all them. Miles has been cleared Last week he was cleared to be able to play, so really looking forward to getting him back, on the field for practice this week.
Was he then what you would consider a healthy scratch, or was just part of the process? Or?
Yeah, he was cleared later in the week, so really wasn't enough time to get him back into the flow of things for this week, but really looking forward to opening that window and getting him back out there.
And last, along those same lines, so any thought to shutting some of these guys down, much like you did Chuba?
Not at all. Chuba's deal was a 2 to 4 week injury, so we had to look at that. We don't have 2 to 4 weeks left. The rest of the guys, the guys that are day to day, we're going to look at them. We're all playing, we're all competing, giving us a chance to just finish one more time and finish what we started.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dave, when you look at the last couple of months and you see close games, overtime wins, 30-plus differentials like it was yesterday, some of that I'm sure is just kind of the nature of the NFL, but how much of that is also, do you account to it just being a team kind of figuring out who they're going to be, a club figuring out who they're going to be and what it takes to get there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, the teams that can find their identity and be consistent late into seasons, are the ones that give them a chance to be successful. And we know how long these seasons are. And so the goal is to try to progress weekly and to try to keep your focus week to week, without making these broad stroke judgments about what's happening. It's like, can we attack our game plan for this week? Can we have a great day of practice today? And that mentality I've seen, have success for coming to life on Sunday. That's our best shot to do that, and so that's what we hope for. And a lot of those teams too, going into these games with, some of these guys playing for the division, playing for a wild card, and those things. It's like all the motivation that comes from it is really important, but what it comes down to is just the basics of football. It's blocking, it's tackling, it's throwing and catching, and it's making your plays that come to you.
All right, have time for one more quick one. Go to finish up with Cam Gastons.
Hey there, Dave. Not sure how much you guys have gotten into film yet, looking ahead to the Falcons, but I'm just curious, when you prepare for a rookie quarterback in Michael Penix who only has 2 games of tape, just what challenges does that present, not having a whole lot of tape on him, and how do you guys go about trying to, attack and hopefully exploit some rookie mistakes out of the young guy?
Their schemes look the same. This is a really well-coached team. Zach Robinson's been doing a great job balancing their run game with some of their pass attacks, the screen game that they can also get involved with Bijan and Tyler Algier, and a really solid, skill group with Pitts, with Drake, and then also their offensive line is a solid group. And defensively, watching some of their rush schemes come alive with Ellis being used in different roles on the edge, inside, really making a role for himself rushing the passer, so I can see their football continue to progress. So, from a whole team standpoint, not just talking about Michael Penix, who I think has done a really good job of, finding completions and all that. Their scheme looks very similar, and it's something that we have to respect.
All right, thank you for your time, Coach.
All right, thank you.